Hi class, I'm going to walk you through a new activity we're going to try out today called VoyageMath. So when you go into your Google Classroom, you're going to see an assignment posted in there. So I'm going to walk through what this will look like. I'm going to click this one right here. It's going to bring you to this screen, and there is a good chance that it's going to make you sign in. You're going to sign in with your school Google account. You may have to, once you're done signing in, go back to the link and re-click. There might be an option once you finish to hit this button which says go to dashboard. In either case, you're going to click on begin journey. And kind of similar to like your diagnostic, this activity is going to start you off with some easy questions, and depending on how you answer the questions, your path up the mountain gets easier or harder. So we start off with true or false. -2 is a negative integer, so obviously that's true. You're going to notice to climb 30 steps, and make sure it starts making your way up. Is 3 a positive integer? Yes. And I've hit my first checkpoint at Camp 1. You're going to win a prize to decorate your avatar with. You can go ahead and customize if you want for the sake of this. I'm just going to go ahead and hit go back to hiking. Okay, now we move on to is 5 times -3 positive or negative? Okay, so one thing I'm going to point out, and the most important part really of the video, was this little step guide example up top. You're going to notice this on some of the questions, and this is particularly helpful for questions you're stuck on. So let's say we didn't know this, and I hit this button, and if you notice, kind of similar to what your book does, we've got some color coding going on here. A blue times a pink. In this case, it's asking, it says fill in the blank. The signs of the integers are, well, they're different, so we're going to click different. And it's going to guide us down into a nice little, almost graphic organizer here, which shows us a pink times a blue times a pink. So blue times pink is going to be negative. So in this case, we can see that this answer is negative. And we can advance to the next question. You notice again, it's up there for me if I need it. In this case, I see 6 times 5, positive or negative. Another thing I'm going to point out, if you click on these, it shows you a little hint. You know, for positive, it says it's greater than 0, like the starting numbers on a ruler. If you click on negative, it says less than 0, like temperature below freezing. So just some kind of helpful tips and hints to get you to the correct answer. So we know that this is 30 and that's positive. And I believe I've hit my second checkpoint rather. I won a couple more prizes. I'll show you this real quick. I'm not going to actually play any of these. So brain breaks, similar to what you'd see in your diagnostic. There's some choices here. You can select if you want to play some of these. It tells you up top you get a minute to play these. In this case, I'm going to actually go back to hiking. And I'm back up climbing now from Camp 2 to Camp 3. So again, 7 times 4, positive, negative. I've got my step guide if I don't know. In this case, a positive times a negative is a negative. If you notice, I'm getting close to this little mini checkpoint, and we'll see what that looks like in a second. So -9 times 2, positive again times negative. It shows you those hints. Again, if you're unsure, it provides some little guidance step by step on how to find your answer. In this case, we know a negative times a positive is a negative. And I've hit a zip line, and we can kind of choose our adventure. So we can continue answering like we have been. We've got a, a medium risk, which a correct answer moves us 40 steps up. An incorrect, though, moves us 10 steps back. And then lastly, warp mode. So correct answer sends us 60 steps up the mountain. However, incorrect gives us or sends us back 20 steps. This one right here does not penalize for an incorrect answer. So for this case, I'll show you. We'll take the high risk. So we've got now a negative times a negative. We know -7 times -2. is positive 14. And in this case, that one question correct is to camp 3. And again, we win a couple more prizes. If you want to change your avatar again, you get an option for a brain break. I believe it's the same games. It is. So again, a little timer up above. You get a minute to do that. You can go back to hiking. Okay, now you notice we're going to actually have to start answering these. Okay, so what's going to be helpful? So let's say we don't know what this is off the top of our head. So again, we use our step guide. It says ignore the negatives, if any, and multiply. So 3 times 8. Which means now it says identify the sign. So in this case, we had a positive times a positive. So that means it's going to be positive 24. If you notice, though, if you have to use a step guide, it doesn't give you the full steps up the mountain. So just keep that in mind. But the step guide's helpful if you're really stuck and you need some help. Just to show you, I'm going to show you what an incorrect answer would look like in this case. So negative 6 times 15. So let's say we pick 90. So it's going to open up the step guide for us. So it says ignore the negatives, if any. So now we've got 6 times 15. Okay, so that's going to be 90. And then, similar to the last question, it says identify the correct sign. So we've got a pink times a blue. So pink times blue is pink or negative. So our answer should have been negative 90. And then we move on. So I'm not going to keep going. This was just to kind of show you how this works. In order to quit, if you don't have enough time, you're going to hit save and exit, and if you notice that it'll save your progress and you can hit resume. If you hit this, understand that you're going to start from the beginning again. So resume will pick up where you left off. Good luck with this. Miss Sanborn and I tried it out. We seem to like it. It's a nice little alternative, and let us know what you think.